Our top story at this hour, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Russians would knock the teeth out of those who attack the country or eye its vast territory. The statement comes as Russia's relations with the Western countries continue to worsen. Listen in.
Хотят где-то укусить или чего-то от нас откусить, но они должны знать, те, кто собираются это сделать, что мы зубы выбьем всем, так, чтобы они не могли кусаться. Это очевидно. И залог этому развитие наших вооруженных сил.
Putin did not name Russia's adversaries explicitly. He said that it was important to keep developing the armed forces. However, tensions between Moscow and the West is at an all-time high, and there has been friction due to Russia's military build-up at Ukraine's border, alleged interference in the US election, as well as the treatment of opposition leaders. However, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken recently held a face-to-face meeting and vowed to work together on the ongoing differences. Meanwhile, the Russian ambassador to London, Andrei Kelin, told Reuters that the group of 7 nations is playing a dangerous game by making aggressive and baseless criticisms against Kremlin because it pushes Russia closer to China.
The attitude of G7 and this country towards Russia and China, this is a dangerous game, I will say. Russia and China has enormous potential in different fields, in the field of economy, technology, military capacities, political. This potential is spread around the world. And to push, we are not allies with China. However, pushing Russia and China, it just close our ranks with China. And of course, in that sense, we are more and more united against challenges that are being presented from the West.
The G7 foreign ministers met this month and they termed Kremlin as malicious and Beijing as a bully. In a 12,400-word communique, G7 said that Russia was destabilizing influence on the world because of its 2014 annexation of Crimea, its build-up on Ukraine's border and its meddling in the internal affairs of other countries. Kelin further called G7's critique biased and confrontational. He pointed out that the quote-unquote aggressive attitude towards Russia and China were pushing the two powers together. Kelin also said that Russia would proceed according to its own geopolitical interests. He added that if there were issues that needed to be discussed, then dialogue was the best way. For more on this, our correspondent from Moscow has sent us this report. Listen in.
President Vladimir Putin was speaking at a meeting of the Russian National Security Council this week when he made these comments that Russia would knock the teeth out of any opponent that tried to take some of its territory. Of course, nobody is really trying to do that. However, there are, of course, still territorial disputes between Russia and Ukraine, Russia and some of the other Arctic powers, Russia and Japan. So there are certainly some areas of discord. Nevertheless, Russia wants to make it very clear that it does not plan to cede any territory. Indeed, that exact principle has been written into Russian law when last year Russia held a referendum on the constitution, and one of the points was that Russia will never hand over any of its territory. Of course, we're talking here about the largest country in the world, but Russian President Vladimir Putin says that despite the fact that Russia lost about a third of its territory when the Soviet Union collapsed, he says that there are still adversaries that want to see it shrink even more, and that is something that Russia will simply not allow to happen.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.